Welcome back to our Question Pro Fireside Chats. Today, we're actually going to be heading back to South Africa, and we've got a very special guest with us here today, Shaun Naidoo, and we're going to be learning from him all about the South Africa market research community. We're going to be learning the insights, what they're learning down there. It's going to really be a great session. But I want to introduce my guest here. Shaun is the senior research lead over at Answered. But more importantly, and really where we're going to be talking about today, is he's actually the chairman of the Southern African Market Research Association. That's SAMRA, S-A-M-R-A, really kind of the leading organization for market researchers for the industry in South Africa. He's had such a great career and is doing such a great effort to really help out the South African community. I know it's been, challenging for all of these organizations over the last few years, losing, in-person events and finding new ways to bring the community together. But Shaun's really been doing such a great job here, and I'm excited to kind of share that story. And for all the SAMRA members that are on the call here, do leave a comment. Let us know that you're a SAMRA member. We are going to be taking questions live on the show. And we even have a new benefit that we'll be launching to all of the SAMRA members. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great new benefit, new learning options for all of the folks in the community down in South Africa. But Shaun, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Asim, and good afternoon to all the participants and SAMRA members. It's a real pleasure and honor to be here and to share some thoughts on SAMRA.
Absolutely. Well, Shaun, maybe you can just start by telling us a little bit about SAMRA. What is SAMRA? How does the organization work?
So SAMRA is a non-profit voluntary association of research organizations and researchers in the data, research and insights industry. It's managed by a board of directors with a few portfolios, those who are elected by the board and the SAMRA members at the annual general meeting. I'm currently the chairman of the SAMRA for a second term running. So it's good to be back, and there's really exciting new growth and developments happening at SAMRA at the moment. SAMRA was established in 1963, and it's great that in this day and age that SAMRA is still pushing on and reinventing itself, adapting to the new digital transformation, and also focusing on our members as well. Without the members, there'll be no association, and we're really prioritizing members, trying to give back and trying to build and develop the research industry.
Wow, that is amazing that this organization has been around for such a long time. 63, I think I'm doing my math right. That's years that SAMRA has been around. And I think it goes to show, and might even be surprising to some people, how rich and how much depth there is in the South African insights and market research industry, right? I mean, this really has been an organization and industry that's been around for a really, really long time.
Yeah, correct.
So Shaun, tell us, how long have you been at SAMRA? I mean, obviously you're doing something right to kind of, get the chairman role for the second term in a row, but how long have you been involved with SAMRA? Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you land up there as the chairman?
Yeah, so it's been a fruitful journey. It started in 2013. I was invited to join the board from a colleague at a research house. And ever since that, I've never looked back. I think my passion for research aligned with the purpose and the objectives of SAMRA for the love of quality data, research, and insights. When I read that, it was on our website, it just resonated with me. And I just felt, how can I contribute to the research industry? How can I help and learn and develop from the peers, from the champions of the South African research industry? So that's where it all started. My first chairmanship was in the year of 2019 to 2020. Then I gave way to new, fresh mindsets, new thinking, to Arnold, who did a great job last year. And what he has installed, I'm building onto it and bringing my perspective, my experience to it as well. So with the board, we're definitely seeing great new ways opening up for us, for the board, as well as the SAMRA members as well. That's kind of where it was. And also what's great is that being a SAMRA member, being on the SAMRA board, it gives you that accountability to make sure that you adhere to the SAMRA code of conduct, the company rules, good quality data measurements, and also how to build a professionalism within the research industry, which really helped my career a lot. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that, the career that kind of led you here. I mean, it sounds like you've been really a part of this organization for quite a long time, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are kind of like, that's a pretty interesting career. How'd you get there? How do I get involved with SAMRA? If I want to be the next chairman of SAMRA, how do I get there? Tell us a little bit about the journey and what brought you to SAMRA in the first place.
Yeah, so with me, I think with many other researchers, the goal was never to be a researcher. I didn't leave school and say I'd like to further my education and end up in research. By chance, I was fortunate. I was given an opportunity to join a research company. So right from the bottom, where I started as coding, doing research questionnaires, then growing in skill, helping researchers, eventually becoming a junior researcher, and then climbing the ranks to be currently where I am now as a senior lead in the research projects that I manage. But to anyone that would like to join SAMRA, if you're in a research institution, if you touch or engage in any research activity, you are welcome to join SAMRA. There's different memberships. You can be an independent member if you don't work for organization. There's also, most of the members we have is organizational memberships, where everyone that works for that specific organization will then be included in the membership of that organization, and you can then also make use of the benefits and the resources available to that organization. But yes, I think it starts with a passion for what you want to do in the research industry. There's no actual concrete process here. I seem to say that you've got to first tick all these boxes before you can enter. I think it's just, is there a passion, is there an appetite to develop and to help grow the industry? Then please do reach out to us. We're always open to learn from our members, to hear their concerns, their challenges. Something that we're also prioritizing is local committees. So also targeting the youth. So those that are young, vibrant, and just entering the research industry, also welcome to join the local committee, where you work alongside a SAMRA board director, who then grooms you into becoming a board member, and then later on becoming a chairman of SAMRA.
Amazing. Well, for all of those out there listening, we are chatting about SAMRA and the research industry down in South Africa and Southern Africa in general. Do leave us comments, questions if you're interested in how to join, how to get involved. But Shaun, I want to continue pulling on this thread a little bit, right? Because I mean, you've been part of this organization for such a long time. We're all so busy, right? There's so many things that are taking our time, and you've got a day job. Like, what kept you around? What kept you involved even before the chairmanship? What was some of the value? You kind of mentioned some of those things, right? Some of the standards that SAMRA brings and the certification, but what kept you there? What kept you going? What kept you a part of that community? If you kind of look at that history from just a long time ago, being part of the organization.
Yeah, I think it would be thanks to the SAMRA champion that was working and housed within the research house at the time. She always kept us up to date with what was happening, and soon it became second nature that I want to be part of it. It's not a matter of I'm forced to be a part of the association. Right. And also there was activities that unfortunately due to COVID and over the last few years has not been so active, but we are in the process now of reactivating this, where we visit research houses, where we want to create the awareness. So increase awareness for SAMRA, and then just remind everybody of the benefits of being with SAMRA. I mean, one thing that always stands out to me, and I think fellow researchers, members, and SAMRA members also used to love the SAMRA annual conference, where it was an event where everyone looked forward to once a year. All researchers from different research houses, different levels of seniority, graduates, students, were given an opportunity to come together and to connect, to network, to grow, and also to learn about where your colleagues, where even your competitors are moving within the research industry. So due to COVID and the lockdown, that unfortunately was put on hold, but we're excited to mention there will be communication going out that there is an upcoming, we're planning towards looking at October, November this year to bring back the in-person connected SAMRA conference. And I think that's something that also kept me connected to SAMRA, is that I wanted to be a part of this so that I could also travel to the different regions of South Africa. South Africa, there's research houses in the major metropolitan areas of South Africa. So it's just fair that we travel to those countries those regions as well, so that we can accommodate their travel requirements as well. I think also what allowed me to manage the time between my full-time job is also the knowledge, the encouragement, the family that I received from the SAMRA board that kept me connected as well to SAMRA. And I think that is the heritage keeps. It's important to keep the heritage of SAMRA going. Without the history, the heritage, the knowledge, and the wisdom, SAMRA may just fall flat. So the ask now is that we adapt, we bring in young, fresh innovation, and we marry that with the heritage, and we just push forward with SAMRA.
Yeah. I mean, it's such an amazing kind of story, and shout out to Vinod over here. I mean, obviously, people are hearing the story and the journey and finding it so interesting. And, one of the things that I think really stands out to me about your journey, Shaun, is, you're using words like mentorship and family and community, right? And I think for a lot of people out there, we can maybe forget about that a little bit, especially after COVID, right? That these are actually the things that help us go further in our career, is finding that mentor, finding that community, being able to get out there to in-person events and go and travel around South Africa and meet other people in your industry. That's kind of the key to success at the end of the day, right? That's how you get further ahead in your career. And I think you noticed that really early on, that, hey, SAMRA can provide me this. And I think it's a good reminder, right? Because through COVID, a lot of that has gone away, right? I mean, that was the thing that I missed most during COVID, was like just meeting up with mentors for coffee or a drink, right? And just learning and staying motivated and learning from people that are more senior than you in the industry, and seeing how you can kind of continue to push forward. I just think that's such an interesting part of your story that I want to highlight for people out there. And, as Shaun is saying here, like, these are the opportunities at the end of the day that you can get from SAMRA as being part of the organization, but you've got to be proactive in doing it, right? And especially with COVID, now is the time to kind of say, you know what, let me go find that mentor, let me go find that community, let me find these ways to take my career forward and really mature much quicker in the market research, in the insights industry down in South Africa. I think these are obviously great achievements of SAMRA. Are there others that kind of come to mind? What are some of those kind of great achievements or big things that you think about that SAMRA has kind of done over the last few decades here?
Yeah, I think let me just mention three main objectives of SAMRA is over these years is to grow the data and research industry, enhance quality and professionalism, deliver stakeholder value. And we've heard our members, we've heard them, reaching out, please, help us, move forward in the industry. And it's more of engagement than rather just dictating to the industry. And that's what the vital lesson we've learned. The other great achievements from SAMRA, besides the annual conference, they were also SAR accreditations, which is of those individuals, who have been loyal in the industry, who have had great personal achievements in their workplace as well as the industry as well. There's a process which is called the SAR accreditation. We also have the SAMRA survey, interviewer qualification assessment through CETA, which we work with. And that's just mentioning a few of the great achievements. And also we give the members a platform to be protected and guided according to the code of conduct as well.
I mean, these just seem like such good tangible things that people can really kind of get to boost their career, right? And take that next
Yeah.
level, set themselves apart, learn something new, and really have a framework, right? Almost that kind of guide path to say, hey, here's how you get to the next stage. Get this accreditation. It's recognized here in South Africa. This is going to bring you to the next level.
Yeah, and just if I may add, we've also got something that we're reactivating is called the Doing Good Initiative. So it's a platform that we asked our SAMRA members to show off their good deeds they do, either for the industry, for the community at large. If you have a passion for doing good, helping others, and making a positive difference in other people's lives, we allow them to share this information with us, and that we put it on our website. The website is under construction at the moment, but watch the space for a new exciting website that will soon display. Another good benefit is that there's a SAMRA directory. So all the members that are active and paid up members will then their company names and contact details will be listed on the website. So that also fosters the development of companies' awareness of research houses out there as well.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, you've got such an interesting perspective on the South African research industry. Tell us a little bit about what are some of the challenges that the industry is facing today in South Africa? What are kind of the things that are top of mind or keeping researchers up today down in South Africa? What are those challenges?
Yeah, I think from my experience, I'd definitely say there's a skill set shortage, experience. We've also found that there is the process from joining as a junior in a company, climbing the ranks. So it comes back to mentorship and training as well.
Right.
We need to revisit that, and it's not just about the salary. It's about that mentorship. It's about grooming them to be ready for the next position, next level. Lack of training, lack of resources. Due to the current economic climate, there's also reduced client research budgets, where business may be good, but we have to compromise. Instead of having 1,000 sample, you have to compromise to a 500 sample, just to accommodate the reduced research budgets. I think also another thing is the impact of insights. The difference between a basic observation, and an actual palatable insight that can be used and packaged by the brand, the end client, to help them inform their business decisions as well. So with the help of training on different platforms, in-house training, that can still revive the actual skills that's needed, and also the experience. I mean, everybody's talking about the impact of insights. Often you present insights to a client, and then what do they do with this insight? Do they actually feed it into their brand strategy? Research houses want to immerse themselves in the actual brand's journey. We want to help with the insights. We want to help with the data. But walk with us. We want to walk with you on that journey to improve customer satisfaction, to build a better brand. And it's proud to see. I mean, myself personally, when working with certain brands and seeing brand activation, seeing how brands helping community, and being a part of those type of initiatives and research projects really gives personal reward. So besides the challenge of working with clients to the end, when they impact the brand strategy. There's also something which is the use of traditional versus alternative methodologies in collecting consumer experiences. So yes, COVID forced a lot of companies to adapt and move towards digital online surveys. But yes, there's still quite a few research houses that are efficiently running face-to-face interviews as well. So it's a balancing act of which methodology to recommend. Is it face-to-face? Is it online? Is it hybrid methodology? So a bit of face-to-face, or is it purely let's convert everyone to online methodology? So I think those are the challenges and discussions that research houses are having. Also reliable fieldwork agencies as well, data collecting agencies. I mentioned the SAMRA interviewer qualification certification. We need to revisit that if there is SAMRA members that have experienced concerns with interviews. We welcome you to reach out to us, and then we can work together to get those interviewers ready and able to conduct accurate, quality interviews.
I love it. I mean, I think this notion of training is coming up over and over again, right? And it's kind of embedded in some of these other challenges that you're talking about. Is that, the 60-year life cycle of SAMRA, things are just changing so fast now, right? I mean, there's so much to get retrained on, to learn more of. This notion of this challenge that insights houses or insights teams are having trouble getting their reports, getting the stakeholders to actually read, pay attention to the research. Can you imagine 60 years ago? Like, those stakeholders and board executives were probably getting one report a quarter. They read the whole thing. And nowadays it's like there's so much information overload. Information is coming from different angles, at different lengths. The methodologies are changing. You've now got these online sources. There's so much new things to learn. Tell us a little bit more about this approach to training, right? So obviously certification is a big piece to that. What else is SAMRA doing around training and providing these resources, helping people stay up with this constantly changing environment, right? We haven't even talked about generative AI and what impact that's going to make on people. Like, clearly things are changing. How do you think about training in that environment?
Yeah, look, training is vital, not only in SAMRA, I think in the research organization as well. Training, mentorship is absolutely vital. What we at SAMRA are opening up to is that we are allowing SAMRA training a SAMRA member benefit in the form of a training online, training as well, certifications with the likes of those companies that use online methodologies. So there's a platform that a member can access via Question Pro, and we have sent out communication regarding that training and certification that's available on the Question Pro platform. So this is just one of the forms of training that we can look at, but we've also got ethics workshop trainings that we are wanting to roll out, data quality webinars as well. So the webinars will become more frequent as time goes by, and also will satisfy the requests and needs from SAMRA members as well. So I also ask SAMRA members also to let us know which types of training they would like, how they would like the platform. Is it webinar, online? Should it be in-person training as well? We'll definitely do that. And SAMRA also offers consultation services as well. In any difficult situations that you might experience in the workplace with regards to research experiences, you can contact SAMRA as well to also give you that guidance and assistance as well there.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different avenues for people to get trained, and I love that you're so open to the membership to say, hey, what can we be doing differently, right? I mean, these things are always evolving. You've got the certifications, you've got the webinars, you've got the in-person events, you've got the mentorship, the different forms of accreditation. So I think for everybody out there, really keep an eye out for these things. Feel free to pop here if you've got questions for Shaun around, or feedback for Shaun around what kinds of trainings, what kinds of certifications. I know when Shaun and I met up in Cape Town a couple months ago, we kind of looked at this problem and said, you know what, let's just get as much training to the SAMRA membership as possible. And it's something that we think about a lot at Question Pro, more from the online kind of survey bits, but we've got training, right? We've got these certifications, and Shaun and I kind of said, you know what, let's make these available to the SAMRA membership, right? It's another benefit. It's another way for people to learn. So Shaun, maybe we can talk a little bit about that new benefit. I know an email's gone out to the SAMRA membership, but happy to kind of dig in there just so people know kind of what are those new benefits. Maybe you can speak a little bit to that, and I can kind of show people where to find those new certifications that are now available.
Yeah, definitely. So the members would have received an email communication this week. There will be a reminder email that will be sent out next week as well. But yeah, it just touches on online methodology skills, just to upskill yourself. So it touches on survey design, data analytics, Insights Hub as well. As I mentioned previously, there seems to be a shortage of real palatable insight generation ability within the industry. And those are just some of the great things to look for. So you would obviously, I think you're going to share some of the insights here and also the training that you can get from the platform.
Absolutely. So, lots of different things that you can come in and learn on the Question Pro platform. Again, this is now included in the SAMRA membership. And so you can always come to certifications.questionpro.com. You'll actually see all of the different course categories here. And you will also get a certificate at the end of this. So you can place that as a kind of accreditation on your LinkedIn profile. Some stuff is kind of related to Question Pro, but a lot of these are really good courses just about general market research, right? How do you design the right kind of survey? How do you analyze data? If you're a startup, how should you approach market research? Even down to things like discrete choice modeling, conjoint. How do you set up a max diff, a Van Westendorp pricing study? Lots here for you to dig your teeth into. And again, check out that SAMRA email. You will see kind of the instructions on how to gain access. But it's really easy. You go to Question Pro, just create a free account there. You'll use that to kind of log into the certifications platform. And again, this is now kind of included in the SAMRA membership. So do take advantage of that. Let us know if you've got questions. Again, the goal here with Shaun is to offer as much training, as much content and materials, and just continue to augment all of the great things that SAMRA is already doing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, thanks so much for that. That's awesome.
Well, Shaun, before we wrap up here, tell us a little bit more about kind of what's to come this year for the SAMRA membership. You talked a little bit about new website coming, new webinars coming, maybe some in-person events coming this year. Tell us a little bit more about what the SAMRA membership can expect through 2023.
Yes, so we've got a newsletter that gets sent out on a monthly basis. So please do read that, and you'd see the just reminders on events that's coming up. But just to mention, we've got a webinar that's coming up in May. We've also got the ever popular in-person SAMRA annual conference that we are planning to have in October, November this year. But watch out for communication. We will confirm the exact month, the exact date as well, and also allow you time to also prepare sufficiently for attending this conference. So we look forward to having you join us at that annual conference as well.
I love it. In-person events are back. I know we're all thirsty to get back out there and meet our colleagues in person. I think everybody in South Africa should be looking out for that event. I know, our team has been really, really hungry to get back out there, go meet people in person. And it's just really fun to get back into these events. You can tell people are really excited for them. And I think the SAMRA community is going to be excited as well. Lots of exciting stuff going on there, Shaun. I really appreciate you taking some time today to come on the show and talk to us a little bit about SAMRA and the South African market research industry as a whole. So thanks for being here.
No, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And I really appreciate this platform to just showcase SAMRA and to create awareness. And I'm so happy to communicate and share the exciting happenings for SAMRA this year.
Absolutely. Well, I know there's lots more to come, and thank you everybody out there for joining on the feed. I know there's a lot of folks that have been really excited to hear about the journey, learn more about SAMRA. And do join us next week. We're going to be having Paul Griffiths on the show. He's the Director of Client Advocates, and he's going to be talking about a really interesting problem that I think, Shaun even mentioned today, this notion that budgets are getting tighter, insights teams have to tell that story to the stakeholders. And it's really all about how, as an insights team, do you get a seat at the board level? How do you continue to defend your budgets, defend your resources, get more attention within the organizations? So do tune in for that one. And like we said, our goal with Shaun, with SAMRA, is just to keep on educating the research industry. Things are moving so fast. There's so many new challenges, and we're looking forward to working through them together. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. Thanks, Shaun, for being here. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye-bye.